Good Friday morning and welcome back. It is Friday, August 20th, and believe it or not, most of coastal New England and interior New England is preparing for the potential of a hurricane to hit. It looks like Sunday into potentially Tuesday. So hurricane, or actually tropical storm Henri is currently got its sights set on us, and the forecast looks worse and worse every day. So the question becomes, will this structure survive? I don't know what the forecast is going to do over the next couple days, but it's shifted further and further inland. Right now, we're pretty much in the middle of where the cone is. I am in southwestern New Hampshire, so we'll see. And if you remember correctly, if you watch some of my other videos, I think in the very first video, I said we were building this to survive a hurricane, but hopefully we weren't going to have to do that. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. So let's check things out and see what's going on. So this is my little yard cart that I just keep outside. I use it to transport things back and forth. As you can see, there is water in it from yesterday and overnight. We got close to 2 inches of rain. So with an impending tropical storm coming, that's not good. We already have a lot of rain just within the last couple of days. So I usually keep this cart here and I'll reuse the water in the greenhouse. But I don't know how windy it's going to get, so I may dump this out and just put it away for the weekend until the storm passes. I don't need that, hitting this greenhouse and putting a hole in it or doing anything like that. So I'll probably just end up dumping it out and not using the water, which I do like to do, but, for the situation, probably isn't a good idea to keep that out. But everything is going good in the greenhouse. I have lots of basil that is ready to be dried. I will probably do that. I'll probably snip it today, dry it overnight, and then I'll probably put it in the oven tomorrow on the lowest setting it took me last time about, I think it was like 45-50 minutes just to dry that out, and it does really good. So I will have a lot of nice dried basil over the winter. There's another little basil plant. They're losing a lot of their color, but I'm sure they're still going to taste just fine once they are dried. I've been snipping the flowers off the tops of them so they don't flower. So this is all the basil that I've got. And down here I did plant some turnip seeds, I think 2 days ago. So I'm hoping those will do well in the greenhouse. I have a couple that I did plant in the garden itself in the ground. They're starting to sprout, but I'm kind of concerned with this flooding rain that we're going to get, that they're just going to get washed out. So I had always intended on planting some in the greenhouse, so these are here anyways. I don't know how they'll do, but I'm curious to see how they grow. They were very popular around here. Everybody seemed to like them very well, so I'm hoping they do good. And this is the lettuce, the salad mix that I have. And I think it's 3 or 4 different types of lettuce, and I don't even know what types of lettuce they are. I think one is actually arugula, but I'm not 100% sure. It was just some sort of mix that I planted, and I've been making Shane lunch with this and fresh tomatoes and pickles, homemade pickles all week, so he really enjoys that. And these are my little tomato plants that are doing well. I still have those 2 tomatoes that haven't turned yet, but the plant is taller than me now in the greenhouse, so that's good. The other one's doing really well. There's a lot of flowers on it, but it doesn't have any tomatoes yet. And I think this one, I actually think they're both pink hybrids. I'm not 100% sure, but I tried those in the greenhouse too. We've got all our onions, which I might actually pick these onions up off the ground for just over the weekend. I don't know how much water we're supposed to get, and I don't know how good of a spot this is as far as drainage wise. Like if we do get flooded, it's a high spot in the yard, so I would think it would not flood, but I don't want to lose this harvest of onions if we get, a lot of rain. So I'm going to probably do that. I've got all my fresh herbs going here. These are more onions. And these are these right here, and these right here are my fall crops, my broccoli, my cabbage, and, oh, what else did I have? I think I have Brussels sprouts in there too. So we'll see how that goes. They're growing pretty good, so I'm happy about that. Hopefully with this cooler weather coming soon, as we are approaching September, they will do well. And these lettuce, I still have to repot these. I haven't gotten a chance to do that. I have this long pot that I'm going to use for those. And one is a black-seeded Simpson, and I think the other is just like a gourmet blend. But yeah, everything in the greenhouse is doing really well. It was empty for a little while, but it started to fill up. It'll probably be emptier the next time you see it, because I am going to do some basil. So I'm going to dry that so we can have some nice fresh herbs for the winter. And, you know, I did do a bunch of pasta sauce, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And we'll have some homemade, really homemade pasta sauce to have this year. So let's go see what's going on in the garden, and hopefully this will not be the last time you see the greenhouse in this condition. I really don't know what to expect. The forecast looks worse and worse every day, but hopefully it can withstand it. I mean, there's really nothing close to it, so I guess my biggest fear is something flying through it and puncturing the plastic. But I know they do make greenhouse tape. So I guess if that happens, I'll just get some greenhouse tape and hopefully that'll last. But being this is the first season for my greenhouse, I'm really hoping that it doesn't get damaged. So I'll report back on that in a couple of days. But for now, let's go see what's going on in the garden. So here is the garden. Everything is doing very well. We're, you know, into late August, so things are starting to dwindle a little bit. There are a few things that I have pulled up. I did pull up one of my broccoli plants. I really didn't have good luck with it this year, and I don't know if it has to do with the rain or I don't really know. The heads really didn't form nice tight broccoli heads like you would expect. Some of them did. I can see there's a couple right there, but they're growing and they're flowering instantly. Like these, you can see these yellow flowers. They're not producing the heads they should, and I don't know if that has to do with, like I said, the water content. Maybe it's my soil. I'm not really sure. I may or may not do broccoli next year. If I do, I might only do like 1 or 2 plants. I think this year I had 5, and it just didn't produce the way I expected, so I was a little disappointed with that. So we'll see what happens with that. I do have some nice butternut squash here that is close to harvest. It still has its green stripes, and the stems still have that green color to them, so I know they're not ready yet. That one is a really good size one, and then it looks like there's 5 smaller ones. So hopefully we don't get too much flooding rain, because, you know, this is a crop that's on the ground, so I'm not really sure how that's going to affect that. I'm not really sure on a game plan if it does look flooded. I might have to figure out something in a pinch. So we'll see how that goes. The corn is doing really good. We've actually harvested our first few ears in the last couple of days. And it is delicious, very sweet, very crisp. So I'm very happy with that. The ears are small, but they're full of flavor. We went over to Brattleboro, Vermont last weekend, and we drove through Chesterfield and Westmoreland, and it's a beautiful ride from here. And we kind of joked that it was our corn tour 2021. So we stopped, if we saw like little farm stands, we'd stop and pick up a sample of corn. And we picked up corn from a farmer's market in Chesterfield that basically looked like this. It just looked like it was from someone's backyard. And we also picked up corn from another farm stand in Hinsdale, and I don't remember the name of it, but the corn from Chesterfield that looked like it was from someone's backyard was better than the big farm corn. It was much sweeter, much crisper, and just had an overall better flavor. So we liked that, and it was kind of neat. We've done that before, where we kind of go on a ride this time of year, and just if we see a farm stand, pick up a couple ears here, a couple ears there, and just kind of compare. It's kind of fun to do. My sunflowers are doing amazing. I have tons and tons and tons of blossoms, and the goldfinches have really been enjoying those. I see them picking the sunflower seeds a lot on these. So I do have some flower heads in the house that I was drying that I was going to harvest for ourselves to do like roasted sunflower seeds. But seeing as the birds enjoy them so much, I think I might just take the sunflower seeds out of it and just put them out for the birds. At one point I saw, I think I have some over there too, I think I saw 4 goldfinches on the flowers at the same time. So they really do enjoy this. Let's meander through my jungle of leaves here. It's kind of narrow there. I've got some pepper plants that are coming in nicely. I've actually had really good luck with the peppers this year. I don't usually get this many peppers off my plants. It's always been something I've kind of had a hard time with, so I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they're doing very well this year. I've had the ability to do 2 good-sized batches of tomato sauce already, and it actually looks like I'll probably pick those tomorrow just to take some weight off the plants. Some of the plants were starting to fall over because they were just so heavy with fruit that we had to restring them. So seeing as we have a potential tropical storm that's going to hit, I probably will pick these ones that are ripe. These are the pink hybrids and the pink brandywines, so they're colored. They don't get, you know, the deep, deep red like these ones do. These are the 4th of Julys, which get really red. So yeah, the pink hybrids and the pink brandywines, those are the ones that I got specifically for sauce. So I will likely pick those this week, or excuse me, tomorrow, and either make a smaller batch of sauce or do something with them, like I said, just to get the weight off the tomato plants. And my cucumber bush, still going strong. I actually had to trim back some of the leaves, and it looks like it's going to have to happen again. There is a fence separating them from the tomatoes, but the cucumbers are just taking over everything. They're just so strong and so healthy. I think I have probably like 30 pint jars of different types of cucumbers. I've done dill pickles. I've done, what are the other ones? The bread and butter pickles. I've done relish. There's not really much else you can do with cucumbers. I know in my last video I said, you know, when life gives you cucumbers. Well, I have been given cucumbers, so I have a lot of pickles that I've done, and I just did a big batch of relish yesterday. So far everything's going good. This is one of the giant sunflowers we planted kind of late in the season, but it looks like it's going to flower, so that's good. It obviously has some nice soil in it. But that's the latest and greatest on the garden. So it'll just be preparing now for a storm to make sure everything survives. I do have a lot of plants in pots, so I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know how windy it's going to get this far inland. Like I said, I am in southwestern New Hampshire, and their cone keeps shifting further and further west. But it does look like New England's going to get hit with definitely something. If not wind, definitely rain. And it looks like a couple of days of it. So I'll report back in a couple of days, and I really hope I can show you that the greenhouse and everything survived. So we'll see, but thank you for watching, and I appreciate any comments or suggestions or anything. Like I said, just say hello, and I hope everybody is having a great summer so far. And for those of you in the line of this storm, please stay safe, and, you know, hopefully everything goes well for everybody and we don't have any major issues from this. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Happy gardening.